So we just talked about in the video before this that we're down here at the apartment building. We actually have our walls up here, and like I showed you on the plans, these right here are only 30 inches up or 28 inches up, and we're going to go ahead and add another 16 inches to them for safety, as well as run cable through there. So this video I'm going to pretty much show you how to go ahead and use this Vapo Rust that we bought from Harbor Freight, because our stuff was sitting outside for such a long time that it pretty much just kind of got rusted up. And so with this stuff, it makes it nice. You don't have to go down there and grind it all down. I use a little bitty paint remover, rust remover for the parts that are pretty thick on there that I need to get smoothed out. But everywhere else, I'm pretty much just spraying this stuff on there, letting it soak, and wiping it off, and it's really taking off of that rust, and I'm going back on there and clear coating it. So I'm pretty much just going to walk you through what I'm doing right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install these later on. Here's the stuff right here. It's like 25 bucks for a gallon. This stuff is awesome. I really didn't think, just when it says super safe, you're like, okay, is that really going to strip down rust? It's probably more just water-based. But no, this thing's been great, and it's been nice, especially it's about 8:30 in the morning here, so it's not too hot. You don't want to apply it whenever it's too hot, just because it just dries up and evaporates, and it doesn't really sit there and soak on that rust. So this stuff is, I just put it in a water bottle, and I put a little hole at the top so I can kind of come on here and just spray this on. And so that's all I'm going to do right now. Go ahead and soak this again. Try to get that soaked really good. I'm actually going to go back through. I'm going to let that sit on there for a minute. And then I already have a bucket of water down here with the sponge. So I'm going to go ahead and get my rag, and I'm going to soak it again. And I'm just going to kind of just go through here and wipe all this off and see if I can get this thing pretty smoothed out. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe all this down. Like you can see, this stuff's been out here for a while, so some of this is just pretty much, it's pretty rusted on here. And those areas, what I'll do is I'll show you my, I'm going to get my drill out with my little kind of garnish remover on it and hit those spots. But everywhere else is fairly, I let this, I put this on here the other day over the weekend because we weren't working, and I just kind of like left it on there. And you can see, a lot of this, it'll strip it down. You don't have to go back through and grind it and take a ton of time. So we're kind of going for that kind of industrial look. So we're modern / industrial. So all these scratches and things like that on here doesn't really bother us. I think it kind of makes it look cool. But let me go ahead and show you what it looked like before and then now. I don't know if you can tell, we grind our ends because we're going to get them all smoothed out. See that rust back there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use that garnish remover on my drill. You can see it right here. It's about for like 10 bucks. And I'll run that over and I'll actually take all that off. But everywhere else you can see it kind of pretty much just ate it off. And that's what, this is what the metal looked like before. So that's a pretty big difference of what that stuff will do. And then if it's a lot cooler outside and you let it soak on there for longer, it really will, eat it off. Our metal before was pretty much rusted out. You can come over here and see, this is like the finished product. I'm not painting them. All I did was clear coat them. So you can see there's probably, there's still a little rust behind in the thicker spots, but we got it smoothed out and these are all ready to go. And then you can see I kind of like scratched some of them up along there. I'm telling you, the longer you let this sit on here, especially when it's cool outside, the more and more it'll just keep eating that rust off. And the best thing to do is like on these thicker spots like this, is get a wet rag, soak it in this stuff, lay it over the top of it, and then by tomorrow, or within a few hours, this stuff will actually be peeled off there. But right now we're in such a hurry because we have so many things to do. We're just going ahead and getting most of that rust, kind of eaten off, and getting these things clear coated so we can get them out on the balconies before our final. I'm going to go ahead, and now that's been on there for 15-20 minutes, I'm actually going to go ahead. I have a sponge and water right here, and that's the best thing you're going to do is go ahead and get that sponge and water. Don't drench it, just get it all where it's wiping off all this gel. Because before you clear coat it or paint it, if you paint over that stuff and don't wipe this off with water, it's just going to bubble it up later and peel off. So make sure you go through there pretty good and wipe all that down. Go ahead and use your drill and grind off anywhere else, like any thicker spots that you want to get off before you get your primer on there or your clear coat. And I'll go back through. Obviously, you can get some better towels than this, but I'll go back through and just pretty much just wipe off, make sure there's no more dust or anything on it before I coat it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit all the stuff with that rust remover, just these bigger spots, and I'll just kind of wipe it down again and get this thing ready to go for clear coat. So bear with me today. The wind is horrible. We live in Amarillo. I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, I hit it with my little rust remover on my drill. I hit these thicker spots right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this down again, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get it clear coated. And all we did was buy this Rust-Oleum. We just bought this Rust-Oleum clear top coat, and stuff's been working awesome. It has that high gloss too, and it's only like $4 or $5 a deal. So we were able to do these all for pretty cheap. So guys, thanks for watching. That's pretty much it. None of these products, not a sponsored video at all. I just wanted to show people to make it easier on you when you're trying to do this at home. I'm pretty much going to go through there, and I'll go ahead and show you the finished product when I get this done.